Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm going to be, in this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to make Lucky 7, which I'll explain in a brief moment. But first off, I have not uploaded a video in a while, and that's because I have moved my recording area. So if you hear any echoes in the background or in the audio, I'm trying to fix that, so sorry in advance. I actually do at the moment have a blanket over my head and microphone to attempt to lower any echoing. But if you do hear any echoing in the audio, sorry. But anyways, let's move on with the tutorial. This is Lucky 7. To give a brief explanation of it, it will roll 3 numbers, and if those 3 numbers are all 7, it will give you the global jackpot, which on the side is 75,469. If you fail to get 3 numbers, if you fail to get 777, then it will increase the price of the global jackpot, or increasing the global reward. So, to give a brief showcase, to see, it will roll 1 number, 4, 8, and 9. Coincidentally, none of those numbers are 7. If we roll again, 6, 3, and 9, none of those numbers are 7. I also added it where if you sneak and click it, it will completely skip the animation and just give you the numbers, so we can sit here and click. So let's get into this. The first thing you're going to want to do is choose your item. I chose my item as a name tag. Once you've chosen your item, just go over to the housing menu, go over to the systems, then over to functions, and we're going to have 3 functions. One called roll, one called sneak, and one called reward. We'll get to reward in a bit. Let's start off with the first one, roll. Now, as you hear, there's a lot of stuff here, but it is not that complicated. A lot of it is just the animation. But let's go one by one, starting off with this conditional. In this conditional, we're going to have, it's going to check whether the player is sneaking. If the player is sneaking, it will exit the, it will exit it. There's nothing in else actions, and so if the player is sneaking, it will exit, so none of this code will run. The next one is remove item. This is where we're going to put our item in, but we're not going to do that yet, because we still need to edit this item, but we'll do that in a minute. Anyways, the next 3 are change player stats. These are important because these are going to choose the random numbers we get. So starting off with the first one here, it's going to be number_1 set to %random.int/1 through 10. The reason it is not 1 through 9 is because Hypixel Housing has a weird thing where it, subtracts for 1. So if we were to do 1 through 11, it would actually be 1 through 10. 1 through 9 would actually be 1 through 8. So random.int/1 through 10, and then %. This is a, placeholder. And in the second one, it is going to be number_2 set to, the %.randomInt/1 through 10. And you could probably guess what the third one is going to be number_3 set %random.int 1 through 10. So all these 3 are just the different numbers, 1, 2, and 3. Now, we're starting off into the animation. This first one is display title, where it will show us, what I put is a color code, which I'll put the color codes up on screen, and I just did the barcodes with 0, 0, and 0. Then in the subtitle, I put the jackpot to show you how much the jackpot is at the moment. So all I did was %stat.global, not player.stat, because this is a global stat, /jack_pot. So, there you go. Fade in is usually 1, stay is 5, fade out is 1. These numbers don't really matter, since the next is a pause execution, which will have 220 ticks, which is 1 second. You can have it lower. I do recommend it to be lower than 20 ticks. But the next one is the little barcode again, and %stat.player/number_1, the 2 other ones being 0. So if I were to show that, the next second later, you see the number. Those 2 other numbers are still 0 and haven't been chosen. Now, you can probably guess what these other ones are going to be. This one's just going to be the next stat, so %stat.player/number_2. And the third one here is just going to be, it's a lot, but practically you're just taking our previous placeholders from here and putting them into text. And this last one right here is trigger function called reward. We'll get to that in a moment. Our next one is sneak. In the sneak, we're just going to have 1 conditional, and it's going to be a lot more simpler. It's going to be checking whether the player is sneaking and whether it has our item that we're holding. We're not going to put that item in just yet due to reasons. And in the if actions, we're going to have it remove our item, which we're not going to do just yet, and have the 3 player stats. These player stats are the same as the last one, number underscore 1, set to the random int, practically do the same thing we did in the first one, and then have the trigger function of reward. There's nothing in else actions. Now let's get on to the final function known as reward. In this one, it's going to also be one conditional, and in the conditions, player stat required number underscore 1 is equal to 7, number underscore 2 is also equal to 7, and number underscore 3 is also equal to 7. If that is true, then it will display title all the things showing that it's 7 with a different color. I'll put the color chart back up on screen again. Subtitle saying you have won the jackpot. Nothing special about the fade in and all that. Next one is send a chat message saying you won the jackpot, just in case if they're skipping over the animation. The change player stat is gold increment by %stat.global/jack underscore pot. It doesn't have to be gold, it can be whatever your currency is. But anyways, the next is the change global stat, having jack underscore pot set to 0, so it restarts. Then it exits the action. In the else action, we have it where it just says, we changed it to red. As you could see, after we fail, it just changes it to red. So, the global jackpot thing in the subtitle. And then this one is the one that increments it by a random number, so we'll just have jack underscore pot increment by %random.int/100 through 1001. So, we have it so it can increment randomly through 100 to 1000. So, if we were to test it, it changes the number 4, 3, 0, or 1, and there we go. Now, to test and show it actually works, I'm going to do a quick speed up until I win the jackpot. Oh, and one last thing, I almost forgot to add it, but if you hold your item, do /edit, and go over to the edit actions, and you're going to want to add both of the trigger functions, the first one being roll, and the second one being sneak. Anyways, back to see if I can get the lucky 7. Okay, well, we haven't really gotten to any results with the lucky 7, but I guess this is also a good reminder to not gamble because you'll lose. Anyways, one thing I need to add, once again, once you have your item with the 2 things in, don't forget to come over and add them to the remove items. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, we're really close to 100. And like the video if this was helpful. If you don't know, if you didn't understand the tutorial or you have any questions, I have a Discord and the link's in the description, or you can just ask down in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and see you all next time.